adjourned. Then we'll open it up for public comment. The public is allowed to speak on issues or items not scheduled for discussion on the agenda. Comments should be limited to issues and items germane to the business of the governing body. The commission will not discuss or debate these items, nor will the commission make decisions on items presented during this time. Members of the public will be limited to 3 minutes for comments. Open it up to general public comment.
Just one, right? And I'm done. Hi again.
Hello.
That's better. I like it. Clearly, y'all have a serious issue, a few serious issues that seem to be falling to the wayside, because I've been watching this crap shit show basically for the last couple months on YouTube. Seen some videos, some pretty disgusting videos. I didn't realize how bad it was until I heard the public speak, and I heard your constituents speak out on all of it. And I think I'm an observant person. But what I saw is just like, from everybody up here, from everybody that was here, it was more of a, we'll deal with it later. And then later comes, and here we still are, right? Here everybody still is complaining about the lack of transparency. And still nothing has been done about it. And you guys are actively trying to stifle it. You're trying to stifle people's free speech, so you don't have to deal with the accountability. It doesn't make any sense to me. I was just informed that y'all have a role in your city council meetings or whatever, where you're not supposed to answer any questions, right? You guys know that, right?
Correct.
You've been ordered that, I believe. Is that true? I mean, I'm asking you.
It's an order.
It's an order?
It's not an order.
Not an order, but it's in your rules.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Okay. Is that for everybody, or is that just selective? Because I've already witnessed y'all answer people's questions and selectively not answer other people's questions. So I'm kind of curious as to is there a line that you guys draw? Well, yeah, we'll answer that dude's questions, or no, we're not going to answer that dude's questions. Because that's kind of fucked up too, right? So that's about all I got to say.
Thank you.
John M. 66049. I'm going to speak to Resolution 7599, which just a couple weeks ago had a lot of very passionate people here. Talk about censorship and lack of transparency. I think you buried it. Can't find it anymore. I watched the public comment from May 20th. As you know, the Department of Transportation letter that ultimately led to the Resolution 7599 threatened transportation funding if affirmative action laws are enforced against federal policy. And the citizens that were here apparently were given the impression that the city budget risk was $8 million federal dollars. That's what they repeated over and over in the video. But much more is at risk, and y'all didn't make that apparent. The city receives far more than $8 million from the federal government. The city has not been transparent regarding how much of its budget is made up of federal grant and matching dollars. The city lives on intergovernmental operating grants and contributions, much of which originates from the feds to the state, to the county, to the city, and you all pass it around. OMB Memorandum M2513 is a federal directive that temporarily halts financial assistance programs for a review process aligned with the administration's priorities. And that's going on now. Again, it's OMB Memorandum M2513. All funding agencies are currently reviewing their grant programs. That's all funding agencies. The city depends on grants from these agencies. Lawrence receives federal grants in the amount of $39 million per year, according, maybe it's more than that now, but according to the December 23rd, 2023 City Comprehensive Financial Report. If there's a newer one out there, I couldn't find it. These dollars have been applied to the following programs according to that report: general city operations, public safety, public works, health and social services, culture and recreation, Lawrence Memorial Hospital, Lawrence Public Library, and nearly 100% of the Lawrence Douglas County Housing Authority. You think we have a homeless problem now? Just wait till we don't get any money for it. This feels like gaslighting citizens. You can't tell people or imply to people that you can operate the city without federal fundings. You need to discuss with citizens how dependent the city is on to the federal government. You must publish your federal, state, and county agency sources of funding. That's not available anywhere I can find. Transparency and accountability, folks. We need that.
Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you.
It's the old dude from Texas again. You guys and gals signed something, and there was a resolution 7473. Do y'all remember what that was? That was that's city ethics and professional conduct. When you swore your oath, did you do it for shits and giggles? Or did you do it just because you just wanted to make yourself look good? So the people thought, you guys are affronting the citizens like never before. Here's what this says. You need to reread this. Every one of you, your JD especially, your attorney. Bottom line, this 1A1, it says, according, no members of elected officials, appointed officials, city employees shall do any of the following: take any action in violation of the United States Constitution, the Kansas Constitution, for all federal regs. Every one of you idiots sitting up there have done that. And it's on video. You can do what you're doing with YouTube, stopping the people from seeing what the hell's going on. You guys ought to be ashamed of yourself. I've been to a communist country. You need to take that flag down, and I will give you this to put in its place. You guys are communists. Your actions are communist. If you don't believe me, go to one of the local synagogues, and I want you to speak to some of the Holocaust survivors. Ask them how their families got displaced from their homes. I challenge you. I challenge any of you, sit down if you got the guts. This is just some dude, a Jew guy that was in the Air Force that says, I served proudly. There's men here that served very proudly. I've got friends that are Vietnam vets that saw horrendous things, or Afghanistan, Iraq, all this stuff. But yet you're stepping on people's rights. And if you don't see that, you need to get the fuck off the stage. You need to get someone to replace you that believes in the flag, not this fucking thing. Because what you're doing is reminiscent of the Communist Party and damn sure the brown shirts of the Nazi Party in the 1930s. If you don't believe me, start researching it, because your tenets, your actions have violated your own Resolution 7473. Reread it, because you have perjured. You know what's unfortunate is in our state, we're actually just passed a law that we literally can get any of you people off in our state for doing what you've done. Little John, what you did to him, I guarantee you what, there could be people that would remove your ass in a heartbeat with our new state law. That needs to be done in Kansas, hopefully, because what's crazy is you sit on this qualified immunity shield behind you, knowing that your insurance policy is going to cover your ass when a lawsuit comes. And I pray somebody starts reaching out to those insurance carriers and starts really making some waves. And I'll probably be one of them, because I come from an insurance background. See how many times that you guys, your actions are costing your citizens monies with these federal lawsuits. And I hope they just run you through the ringer. It'll teach your ass a lesson.
Thank you.
Gentleman speaks for city manager.
Other public comment?
Thank you. I do want to come back to the public right away to speak specifically about what you passed on May 20th, a different item, not the one we already spoke on, Vice Mayor, just to be clear, the sandbar closure of 8th Street, but it will still light on some of the things. And I want to thank Assistant Manager McGuire for commenting on those things. But you are the stewards of the public right of way. So the city owns the streets and the sidewalks. So if you don't have the information about the closures, then you aren't really taking control of the public right of way. So, maybe you don't have to have a map, but I would also point out those maps were provided before 2019, so there's no reason for them not to be provided now. And once you've already approved the resolution, then you have no real leverage to get those people to do what you need them to do. And in the case of the sandbar closure, which you've already approved, they consistently close off the sidewalk, which is unnecessary now, in the weeds, I know, because of the changes made during COVID for the liquor laws. They do not have to close off the sidewalk. So as we all just experienced the Busker Fest, the sidewalks were open, alcohol was allowed in the streets. It's all notified, don't have alcohol beyond this area. The sandbar could do the same thing. Now, the sandbar has been doing their party for 30 years, I think, and so they've been using the same map, and they have thought that they have to close the sidewalk. They do not. I have spoken with them at great length. I have also spoken with the city clerk at great length, and those laws have changed. So the admission of the map to the public is actually of some importance, because you are the stewards of who keeps the street and the sidewalk open. So if there's an event that they make money off of, and they do, they also spend a lot of money, and we're all glad that they do it, but they do not have to close off the sidewalk. What they do when they put a cattle gate, and that's what they do, put a cattle gate across the sidewalk, that blocks the other businesses from being accessed by their patrons. They don't have to do that anymore. That was changed during the change of the laws during COVID. So I just want to make sure that information gets to you. Again, you are the stewards of the public right of way, and that information would help you be able to make that determination. Again, I hope you speak with the city clerk, who has a far greater knowledge of the distinctions between city and state interaction, which, as Brandon pointed out, is the permission that you gave, but you are still responsible for that permission and for the public right of way. Thank you.
Thank you. David?
Hello, David Baston. Just wanted to, I know earlier when resolution 7600 was passing, Tony was asked a question, the city attorney, and in a roundabout manner, she stated that basically the Senate Bill 70 said you had to pick one or the other, one median, which does not state that. I don't know why you would have to pick one. Transparency is having as many forms as possible and accessible would equal more equal more people looking at participating as opposed to one. So I don't, unless I just misunderstood the person's question and her answer, that bill did not state you had to have one form of public or of meeting. So I just wanted to bring that up. Then also, as far as nice to see Brandon here since Craig's gone. It would be nice, and I think it's really rude that that you guys leave and don't listen to public comment. City attorney, when something may pertain to her, that I don't know if she watches the stuff afterwards, probably not. you too, Brandon, when stuff about homelessness or things you're responsible for come up in public comment, do you go back and listen to these things when it's going to take you another 5 or 10 minutes, but you just want to scramble off real quick? And I think that shows. I mean, Craig's supposed to be running the city, and to let things like this just go without it doesn't show very good leadership as far as I see. I know that he has a lot of stuff that he has to do, but that's just one I'm picky on, that you really should stay for the whole meeting to listen to what the public has to say also. That's just, to me, showing you don't care what the public states when they are allowed to leave. And I do appreciate Craig staying through the whole thing. Obviously, he didn't have to if you guys don't. But appreciate your time. Thank you.
Thank you, David. Looks like Chris is coming.
Hi, this is Chris Flowers. I don't want to be too gossipy, but on Live Love Local Lawrence, like 4 days ago, this is kind of a bad post, as in sad. And what happened? Someone is saying that someone ran over their dog, and they think they did it on purpose. But the day of or the day before, someone else had the same thing happen to them, and it was the same vehicle description. And I'm just here to ask if something like this does happen, and it's true, will the police release a public notification, like a public notice? Because I think that's a total safety thing. Because it sounds like the vehicle slowed down, and then when they got in the crosswalk, that's when they sped up and ran over the dog. And it's deplorable. And if this, I hope you all do look into this, because if it's true, I absolutely think there should be a public notice. Not just so we can catch the person, so that no one else walks into the crosswalk if they see that vehicle with their dog. And I just want to throw that out there. Thank you.
Patrick?
Patrick Ross, 66049. This one's called Taruf. Fear is power. Quiero hablar del otro, pero tengo miedo de lo que quiero decir. Can Lawrence declare itself a sanctuary? No de la manera en que piensas, but of truth and knowledge. Podemos ser una comunidad. Like the word says, unity. Una en que puedes aprender en un parque sobre la cultura de los persas. Lawrence is a welcoming city, a system of politeness and etiquette que enfatiza el respeto mutuo y la deferencia. Lawrenceans are characterized by a back and forth of polite gestures, a menudo involucrado a ofrecer y rechazar, and can involve a bit of ultra kindness in social situations. Más chequede, kebabs, skewer pieces of lamb from the land. En la cultura de Irán, la carne no toca el asador, se queda encima. The yogurt is strained, pero no puedes saborearlo. Eso es el punto. The meat is tender. No law, sand rats. Peregrine plumbing. Drive-by shooting with my American Kestrel. Una araña duerme en el cemento. La temperatura llega hasta los 31 grados Celsius. His shirt is as blue as the Jayhawk and American flag across his chest. Perhaps he could use some ice. Los mejores tacos están en la calle 9. What if restaurant leftovers were organized every night for those in need? Eso sería chido. Spend the summer with us in Puerto Rico. No se puede traer oro de Irán. Math comes from Mesopotamia. El sábado hay fiesta mexicana in St. John the Evangelist Church. Big number of meetings announce the schedule for star bond districts. ¿Cuánto dinero podemos ganar si no contamos los juegos del estadio? The field is set for this year's city commission race. Los zapatistas piensan que puedes cambiar el poder sin buscarlo. I call on all candidates to speak in public comment. Necesitamos un debate, no solo un cuestionario. Voters have until July 15th to register. The primary is August 5th. Muhammad Ali is the greatest boxer to ever live. He was born in a country ruled by God. I saw a man boil water in his hands. Iman means faith. Come to Dad Perry Park and learn all this before the city charges admission. ¿Qué onda, Jeff Crick? ¿Cómo vais? Thank you very much.
Thank you. Michael.
Get this thing down so I can see everything. Because I got an interesting question for y'all. I'll let Sherry start.
Thank you.
Since the last time she didn't get a start, I got arrested. Thank you very fucking much, Bart Littlejohn. And it's hard to come up with the words. Here lately, I've been signing off with "fuck you very much" democracy in this town. You know, what the fuck happened earlier, Lisa? Brad? I know Lisa knows because she stomped her foot at you and you ignored it. I saw her lip twitching too. Like she does when she knows shit's getting fucked up for their lawsuit. Seen it on her face a number of times. Shake your head if you know what I'm talking about. Still have no clue? Well, Brad, you let the school board throw people out for doing very similar things and help them trespass citizens from the school board for menial things. And, you know, I wouldn't make a big deal about it with the person up here because she has her right to speak. And I praise her for it. But what I condemn is your fucking hypocrisy. Because you let somebody utilize one of your consent items that you pulled to slam one of your proclamations. I know Lisa knows what I'm talking about because she could see it happening. Brad, did you not even know that was what was going on? But you created another great comparator for when we get into court about how you guys have shut us down. Because Lisa, we can't even hardly get a word out before you're ready to shut somebody down, have the men with guns come get us and take us out. And Bart, you're the same way. You know, you and your little coached conversation back there with a muted body cam. Bad look, dude. Bad look. I told Brown out there earlier, my anger that you've seen, you might not see as much of that anymore because I figured shit out now. I never wanted lawsuits, guys. That was never my purpose. The money on YouTube, God, a couple $100 a month, come on, really? I go through all this for that? Guys, I wanted change. And I was angry that all of my politicians that took an oath and all the police department that took an oath to support the kind of change that I wanted to see here ignored it. Anthony Kinnon, the homeless jaywalking ticket that you guys let him crash, man. Chief lying. God, shameful. But I'm coming for your money.
Any other public comment in the room? Joyce.
Hello, I'm Christy Glover, and actually come to talk about your August 15th no camping ban enforcing it, which sucks for us homeless people because we camp at a lot of your city parks. Well, not a lot of the city parks, but main park in Bircham for the most part. You know, after Tent City, people were promised, you know, or supposed to have first bids on little pallet homes, you know. A lot of us, we stuck through it, through winters. It was horrible, very horrible, just to come and find out that most of us we couldn't even get pallet homes, or we would have to lose our dogs. I mean, hell, what if my dogs died, you know, just because I couldn't be there. After that, it was Amtrak. You know, a lot of people that didn't make the pallet homes from Tent City moved to Amtrak. And then after all that, we got moved from Amtrak to the Hole in Camp Mid over there on H Street, you know. And now enforcing the whole city, the no camping ban. Is there any way, I know there's nothing that it's already been, it's unstoppable, you know, to enforce it, which I totally understand. I get that part. But is there any other way that we can work together, making, you know, living quarters for people that, you know, upkeep the woods, you know, because there's no other people that actually know those woods better than us, because we live out there. We know the wildlife, you know, we know where to go, where not to go. I mean, is there a positive place or job we can do instead of kicking us out our last home? You know, I mean, it kind of sucks, especially for those who don't have anything that don't fit in the criteria for ballot homes, you know, or your vouchers, or me, myself, I fall in between all the cracks, you know. I'm asking you and the community, whoever else is listening, is there a way that we can make this work, please? Thank you.
Thank you. Okay. Seeing no, oh, Howard's coming.
So I've heard a lot of talk tonight about free speech and transparency. That lady that just came up here and spoke, in my opinion, that's who needs to be heard. That's who needs to be listened to. The folks that are being impacted by rapidly escalating city policies that are reactive to massive community pressures from people that have way more of a platform than she is likely to ever have, that are reactive to decisions that were made in crisis in the middle of the pandemic that allowed for situations to develop. Things went this way, things went that way. They've been getting battered around, chasing one decision after another, chasing one opportunity after another. I mean, I see them now more than I ever have, actually coming together and trying to figure out how to self-advocate, talking amongst themselves, trying to figure out how to approach the city, trying to figure out how to approach the community, to have a sane, sober, mutual discussion about their lot as we approach criminalizing homelessness for the first time in Lawrence that I remember, at least street camping. This is coming at them, and they are trying to figure out how to advocate for their rights and their accommodations right now. And I urge you, listen and discuss with them as much as possible and build as many inroads as possible to an equitable conversation with them about their lives and their conditions. Thank you.
Thank you, Howard.
You should listen to what it was saying.
Hello, David Collins again, 66049. I've been referred to by more than one person here, so I thought I would speak up as a veteran. Anyone who has experienced the traumas of combat, along with people who suffered the traumas of discrimination or poverty, all have, I think, given us a greater responsibility to listen to them. On the other hand, I sort of yearn for the principles of our founding fathers, and over the couple of centuries and more, people who have contended that we need to be able to express our thoughts and our differences with other people in ways other than being hateful. That it's important that we let people know and hear so that they can understand, what problems people are facing, and that we do what we can, especially for the underserved and the underprivileged, to try to help them have a sense of dignity in the community. We're currently under a government that seems to think, as Bill Gates has pointed out, that it's okay to have an image of killing or letting children die by taking away resources that are not that expensive, but they're critical for their survival, in order to provide more money for people who have already more than anybody needs. And I think Lawrence is a place where diversity is respected and really enjoyed by people who come here to visit, and that the attacks that are going on against things like diversity need to be resisted. Thank you.
Okay, doesn't look like anyone else in the room. Any online?
Nope.
Okay, seeing none online, I look for a motion to adjourn.
Move to adjourn.
Second.
Motion by Commissioner Lawson, second by Commissioner Littlejohn. All those in favor say aye.
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 Thank you all, and we are adjourned.
Thank you. Good night.
Good night.